Hello everyone, it's Alice Daemon here with another itch.io game called Love is Strange. This is a visual novel of the Life is Strange game. Hello, I'm Max Dog, your guide and teacher. First things first, I'll let you know that you can click anywhere, or press the enter or space bar to continue. Love is Strange is a visual novel, meaning you'll be reading most of the time. Every now and then you can pick dialogue choices that change the flow of conversation, or even bring you to different locations. Got it? Oh, yeah, I got it. Great, good job. Let's head over to the two whales. Your decisions can affect the way the other characters in the game interact with you. The characters in each route have a number of approval points, which you can earn or fail to earn from the choices you make. The higher your approval, the better. But you won't be able to see any of these point changes visually, so pick wisely. You can use the scroll wheel on your mouse or the back button on the quick menu to go back and review any text you've missed. The quick menu is located to the bottom right of this dialog box. However, though you'll be able to go back to look at your decisions, you can't undo them. There is no time travel here. Once your decisions are made, they are permanent. That sounds great! Thanks for sounding so positive. I do make sure to save your game every now and then. Yeah, before every choice. The game won't remember your decisions if you don't save. You have 15 save slots. Old files that you don't need anymore will be erased by hovering over the save slot and pressing delete on your keyboard. You can also adjust your preferences. You can play around with text speed, volume, auto forward, and more. What else? Oh, and there are a few other things I wanted to talk about. Do be sure to keep up with your journal. It will be continually updated as you progress throughout the game. You may have noticed the gallery in the menu. If this is your first time playing, it's totally blank, but you can fill it up. There are lots of unlockable images in Love is Strange. You earn them as you discover them within the game. The more you play through the routes, the more you unlock. There's also an achievements section. There are 32 to discover. They're hidden all throughout the game. Within every route, you'll need to thoroughly explore everything you can to find them all. As an added incentive, earning achievements is what will help you unlock bonus images in the gallery. Once you have all the achievements, you'll have access to all the bonus illustrations. Depending on your decisions in each playthrough, you won't just fill your gallery in achievements. You'll see unique dialogue from your love interest, unlock exclusive scenes based on your approval rating, even get different endings. Because remember, your actions have consequences. I think that's it. Thanks for your attention. Class is dismissed. Good luck. Thanks. Ugh. Insert groan here. Brr, brr. Get up. I guess I'd better get up. The air is a little chilly as I push the covers off, and one glance in my mirror is enough to tell me that I look like a total zombie. In other words, it's a typical morning for me. Someone's playing music. The people I share a dormitory with are worse than roosters. Oh well, at least I'm up, and I shouldn't make it a habit to be late to class anyway. I stretch out, yawning, as I make my way to the window to feel the sunlight on my skin. Lisa seems to be enjoying it too. She's grown like crazy over the past year. My mom would be so proud. Wow, a whole year already. It's hard to believe I've been at Blackwell for that long. I'm so glad that I came back to Arcadia Bay, and not just for Blackwell Academy, although I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a huge part. I like Seattle, but it never really felt like home. Arcadia Bay is the place I grew up in, the place where I made all of my best memories, and had so many adventures, each one as different as every new day. Pirates and superheroes. This was the best place to grow up. Well, I'm biased, but I really do feel that way. I don't want to sell Seattle short, of course. I lived there for 5 long years. I really do miss my friends there, and my parents. I was so glad to see them this summer. But I know that coming back here was the right choice for me. I'm technically an adult now, which is something I'm still getting used to. I definitely still feel like a kid in a lot of ways. I'm lucky to have my parents' support and my scholarship, which I've somehow managed to keep into my second year. Go Max! And I can't forget one of the most important parts. Blackwell brought me back to Chloe Price, my best friend, and my favorite person in this whole entire game forever. It took a little while, but we picked up right where we left off. Actually, we did even better, because we didn't exactly part under the best circumstances. But the greatest thing about Chloe is that she's brutally honest with her feelings. Those first few weeks were seriously awkward, but we got through it. I'm determined to be there for her now, even if I couldn't before. Luckily, someone was there for Chloe while I was gone. Rachel Amber. She's totally gorgeous, and she's a really great person, too. She's almost too perfect. But she's one of those girls that's just impossible to hate. Even though Victoria Chase seems to have found a way. At first, I thought that Rachel and Chloe were total opposites, but they're really more like wolves in the same pack. Let's just say that knowing the both of them is like being an accessory to every incident of dubiously criminal mischief in the Bay. But even if I didn't have Chloe and Rachel, I've got other friends here too. Dana, Stella, Alyssa. Actually, I can count almost everyone on my floor as a friend. Even Brooke, who is abrasive. It took some time to getting used to, but it's just her way of being friendly. Pretty impressive for a shy geek like me, am I right? Take Kate Marsh, for example. She's one of the very first people who befriended me at Blackwell. Kate is probably the most kind-hearted person I've ever met, and she's an incredibly talented artist. And when I was playing the actual Life is Strange game, not recording, of course, I desperately wanted to save Kate no matter what. Kate was also one of my favorites after Chloe, of course. I didn't want her to die. I was like freaking out because I almost messed it up the first time. She's one of the only students at Blackwell that unabashedly wears her heart, or I guess her religion, on her sleeve. I know that she gets flack about it sometimes, but I think it's really cool that she works so hard to create a comfortable environment for other religious and or abstinent students, even if I'm not in her Bible study group or anything. I get along with almost everybody, except for my neighbor across the hall. Victoria Chase is the head of the Vortex Club, with all the reputation that goes with it, and I hate Victoria. I will always hate Victoria, and I will never change my mind. Even if, at some point in the game, you can start to feel sorry for Victoria, I still hate her. She's mean to my Max and my Chloe, and pretty much everyone else. Even after a year, I'm not entirely sure what the Vortex Club even does, aside from underage drinking. I've heard that being in it is good for your resume, but I've never seen them doing anything to actually improve or benefit the school outside of partying. Oh well, it's not really my place to judge, even though Victoria herself does a lot of judging. Yes, I hate her so much. Hasn't she heard the old adage about not saying anything at all if you got nothing nice to say? It's hard not to wither under that Ice Queen stare of hers, or feel totally lame in the presence of her $6,000 camera. She has a great eye, though. I'll give her that. Yeah, I guess. I can't spend all morning daydreaming by the window, though. I've got to get dressed. I don't want to miss my first class. Especially because Max Dog told us last week that they had a surprise coming up on Monday. I wonder what it'll be. They're one of the best teachers I've ever had. They're always supportive of my work and always smiling. I knew Blackwell Academy took on the best of the best, but I had to experience it to believe it. Max Dog is so freaking cool. I better hurry up and get going. Then maybe I could find some time to hang out with my friends before class starts. I have a feeling that Chloe and Rachel are going to laugh at my generic brand t-shirt and jeans like they always do, but I've come to terms with my style. I should make sure I have everything I need before I head out. Let's see. Put on bracelets. Why not? Chloe gave me one of her punky spike bracelets a few months ago. I'm clumsy, so I thought I'd instantly take my eye out by wearing it. But it turns out that the secret is to thrashing. Oh, shoot, wait, go back, I can't read. Secret to thrashing is that the studs are actually pretty dull. I guess I really am ready for the mosh pit now. Shaka-bra. Max, I love you so much. The bracelet that I slide on next is all woven rainbow threads. Rachel gave it to me. I was pretty surprised when she did. Rachel's got like a zillion friends. Maybe she makes them for everybody. Put on bag. Can't forget my bag, and I don't want to forget my camera either. I'm glad it's managed to survive this long. It's really old, and not in a cute faux vintage way. It's legit ancient. But that's what I wanted, a total timelessness to my photos. As I slide my camera into my bag, I look at the dough pin that Kate gave me a few days ago. It's a warm bronze color. She said that she found it in a bookshop in Portland, and that she thought I would like it. I do, but I'm just flattered that she thinks of me at all. Check phone. I can't leave my room without a quick scan at my feed. The modern equivalent of reading the morning newspaper. That's the millennium condition, I suppose. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm the same way, so don't feel bad. Of course, Victoria's already posted her morning mirror selfie. Liked by 28 people, posted 5 minutes ago. But she does look really nice in that cashmere sweater. I'd hit like too, but I know she's not interested in my approval. She might never wear that sweater again if I did. Nerd cuties. Heh. I'm kidding, I think. I need to stop sinking to her level and being all judgy. I think I've got everything, but I have a feeling I'm forgetting something. Oh, my journal. I can't leave without it. I take it just about everywhere. I guess it's a little old-fashioned of me, and I know that just getting a blog would be way more secure, but I'm used to writing by hand. There we go, all set. I want to see. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if I should read all this. All this. But this is a lot of reading. I think I'll start from the beginning. This is the second page. So, I'm not going to read all this. This is a lot of text. So, you can just, like, pause the video and read it yourself. Because that's what I'm going to do once this playthrough is finished. Because I ain't got time to read all this. As lovely as it may be. Oh, pupper. I have to get back to the game soon. And that's the last of it. Okay. Let's get back to it. As I head out into the hallway, I finally spot the source of the music. It's all coming from Dana's room. The door's wide open like it usually is. This is definitely the way too much bass for a Monday morning. I cross the hall, shaking my head. It's freezing! Oh no! I knock on Kate's door, but there's no response. Maybe she's already headed to class. I'm a little sad I missed out on her usual morning violin playing. Not that I would have heard much of it over Dana's music. It doesn't surprise me that I can smell stuff and hear the sound of a spray can drifting from the bathroom. Rachel and Chloe up to no good again. But I guess that's the company I keep. Victoria's usually got her door open and music playing, like Dana, but it's quiet this morning. I guess she went to class early, too. I've never seen her show up late to anything. Oh, the places you'll go, Max. Where to now? Oh, I could pick? Obviously I'm gonna go see Chloe. What are you talking about? When I reach the bathroom, I find Chloe smoking in the corner, slouching there with something pinched between her fingers. Rachel's busy adding graffiti to the opposite wall. Obviously Chloe first, girl. Having fun, Chloe? There's Max! The sweet little bean. Chloe! I love you, girl! Chloe grins at me, giving her usual up-to-no-good look. Yep, I'm totally getting lit over here. I groan, and Chloe just bursts out laughing amid a cloud of sharp smoke. You're terrible, you know that? And you love it. But what's up? I'm pretty sure you didn't come over here for a hit. I lean against the wall next to Chloe, nudging her with my elbow. I'm not a fan of how it smells, but I've gotten used to being around it by now. It seems to chill Chloe out, and I'm all for anything that keeps her happy. Just wanted to see what my best friend's up to this early in the morning. And to ask what you think of Max's dog surprise today. I can't figure out what it could be. Chloe shrugs, taking another drag. When she breathes out, the smoke twists around and turns in the air before dissipating on the fluorescent lights. It makes me want to take a picture. Chloe laughs. I know that look. You want to take a photo, huh, hipster? 5 years apart or not, Chloe still knows me so well. She proves it all the time. I could take 1,000 photos of Chloe and never get tired of her face. I know! She's so beautiful! Is it that obvious? Chloe smirks at me and bumps the toe of her boot into my sneaker before sucking back on it again and exhaling through her nose. Save your photos for dogs class, Max. As for whatever the surprise is, I don't know. I'm just glad we made it into the same class this semester. Just like when we were in elementary school, huh? I grin. Chloe may look all punk rock on the outside now, but I know on the inside she's still the girl I used to watch anime and play pirates with. My crazy, rebellious, amazing friend. She didn't have the blue hair when we were little, but she always had a wild heart. I'm glad we're together too. Chloe smiles at me. Anyway, I want to be good and buzzed by the time class starts, so I need to finish this thing. I'll catch you later, Super Max. See you soon, Chloe. I could talk to Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Rachel looks up and smiles at me. It's warm, but as usual, it's a little intimidating. There's something about Rachel that makes me feel kind of shy. She can be hard to read. Hey, how's it hanging, Max? I could ask you the same thing. Rachel looks back at the wall, smirking, as she gives another shake of her spray can. I look at it too. The paint is white gold, dripping down the wall from a triangle of letters. I can't quite tell what it says. I'm leaving my mark on the school, which is totally against the rules. Since when have the rules ever applied to me? She laughs at her own joke, which makes me twitch into a smile, too. But before I tilt my head away from the fumes, eyes watering. But smiles too before I have to tilt my head away from the fumes, eyes watering. Are you heading to class soon? Yeah, but let me guess. You're wondering what dog's gonna surprise us with today. That's another thing about Rachel. She's always on the ball and knows what's going on with everyone and everything. I think she might be omniscient. Yeah. Rachel laughs, twirling her paint can in her hand. Her fingers are nimble and light against its smooth surface. I bet you it's another photo contest. I'm sure you'll win it, Max. Because Max is amazing. She and Chloe have been so supportive of me. Their praise can be a little overwhelming sometimes, but I know they really mean it. Chloe, I get, but Rachel, we're not that close. So it means a lot that she's so encouraging. Anyway, even if I don't entirely get what's in it for her, Rachel is honestly kind of a mystery to me. One that I have yet to figure out even in a year in. I wonder if Chloe's got the puzzle solved. I've always been too shy to ask much about the friendship, but they're as thick as thieves. Thanks, Rachel. I hope so. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I want to finish this up, if that's cool with you. I'll see you in class. Bye, Rachel. Rachel gives a little toss of her hair before focusing back on the wall. Let's go to the courtyard. I head outside the dorms and see Kate sitting on a bench out on the front lawn, sketchbook in hand. Up ahead, I see Victoria focused on a bulletin board. I guess I do have time to chat. Kate, I miss you. Hey, Kate. Kate looks up from her sketchbook and gives me a warm smile. Good morning, Max. It's good to see you. I'm happy to see her, too. Come to think of it, Kate's been a little hard to get a hold of lately. She seemed a lot quieter than usual. She's not the loudest person to begin with, but maybe she has something on her mind. Whatever it is, it doesn't stop her from greeting me as warmly as ever. That's Kate Marsh for you. I missed your violin playing this morning. Not that I would have heard much of it over Dana's music. That sentence was way too hard than it needed to be. I sit down next to Kate on the bench and see that she's sketching a few cartoon characters gathered around a fountain. Kate notices me looking and smiles softly, pencil tapping idly against the paper. I thought I'd try to get some drawing in before class starts. When I'm feeling inspired, I always want to sketch right away, so I don't forget the images in my head. That's what I always do, too. Freaking Kate, you and me are the same. I look more closely at the page. Kate's drawings are always so cute and lively. She made an awesome character design. She'd make an awesome character designer or storyboarder or an illustrator for children's book. Any one of those would suit her. I know what you mean. I'll drop everything I'm doing if the time is right for a photo. I can't believe you can do this kind of stuff with just colored pencils. It's so cute. Thanks, Max. I've always loved your photos, too. Kate's compliments always warm my heart. This is the best part that I know. The best part is that I know that she means it. She's so sincere and positive. Speaking of photos, what do you think Max Dog's gonna surprise us with today? Kate's expression turns thoughtful, and she clasps her hands on top of her sketchbook. I'm not sure. They seemed really excited about it when I was helping them catalog our photography textbooks on Friday. I've forgotten that Kate is Max Dog's assistant. I'm calling it Max Dog because it's MX. I'm not just going to say MX Dogs. I'm going to say Max Dog. Did they mention anything about the surprise other than being excited? Kate laughs and shrugs and seems to glow. The cross hanging from her neck catches the sunlight and flashes bright and golden. You're always so curious about the world, Max. A lot of people would just say I'm nosy. Kate gives a little huff and continues drawing in her sketchbook. Her pencil delicately traces curves and lines. I think you just have a knack for adventure, like Gloria here. She's an amateur detective. Kate points to one of her characters in her drawing, a small figure peering into the fountain with huge inquisitive eyes. A little cat tail pokes out from underneath the character's long coat. Thanks, Kate. I'm glad you believe in me. I should get going, though. Kate nods. I wouldn't want you to miss Max Dog's surprise. I'll catch up soon. See you, Max. Bye, Kate. I'll see you later. I don't know if I want to talk to Victoria, to be honest. I don't really like her very much. Victoria looks so focused on the message board, she's got her arms crossed like she's annoyed by what she's reading. But I'm not sure what it is she's looking at. I scan my eyes over the board. There are flyers for club meetings, another plea about the cat pics tablet, some stuff about global warming, the average Blackwell marquee. I don't usually go out of my way to talk to Victoria, but she might be the only other person who takes photography class as seriously as I do. It might be a good to scope out what she thinks about today's surprise. Hey, Victoria. Victoria turns around, and for a split second, I see surprise in her face, before it's replaced with a stern look. Yeah, I didn't want to talk to you either. What do you want, Max? Her tone isn't totally hostile today. Guess that's something at least. Just wanted to say good morning, if that's okay. Also, I had to save real quick, and I like how it has these little picture captures for the saved things. It's neat. Victoria snorts and rolls her eyes. Although I don't like you because you're always mean to my Max and everybody else, I do love the way you look. You have a very good character design. I wouldn't call it a good morning as long as you're around. Wait, seriously? I throw my hands up in defense, giving a huff of exasperation. I can't catch a break with Victoria, can I? Wow, nice burn. Let me go to the nurse and get myself an ice pack. Victoria crosses her arm with an impatient sigh and then gestures with her fingers. Really, what do you want? I glance back to the bulletin board and see a small flyer in the corner. It's an advertisement for a photography exhibition in Portland. I think I found what Victoria was looking at. Just wondering what you think Max Dogs got prepared for us today. You know, the surprise they mentioned last week. Victoria purses her lips and looks away for a second before turning back to me. I heard a rumor that it's another photo contest like last year. She sounds kind of tense about it. I suddenly remember how she placed second in the photo contest last year. She hadn't looked happy about it at all. I know she busted her butt on it. Even I have to admit that her submission was really good. I totally thought she'd win. I have a feeling she took losing a lot harder than she let on. If it is, good luck, Victoria. That definitely wasn't the response Victoria was expecting. Her eyes widen, her mouth dropping open for a split second, before she recovers. She's not scowling at me anymore, at least. Yeah, you too, Max. See, she can be nice when she wants to be. Alright then, I don't totally hate you. Oh, I wasn't expecting that either. We stand there for another moment. Neither of us seem to know what to say. Awkward! Well then don't make it awkward. Victoria makes an irritated sound, finally breaking the silence. Look, I've got to get back to figuring out my schedule for the week. Club meetings and crap. I'm pretty sure that wasn't what she was doing, but I'm not about to call her out on it. Yeah, of course. I'll see you in class. She turns back to the bulletin board. Well, that could have gone a lot worse. As far as encounters with Victoria Chaseco, that was practically painless. I want to see if it got updated yet. No, okay, never mind. Once I enter the classroom, I head to the back and sit on my usual seat. Contrary to what Chloe would have you believe, I don't sit back here to slack off like she does. I sit back here because it's centered right where Max Dog usually lectures. Speaking of Chloe, I can see her sauntering in with Rachel. She grabs a couple of chairs and drags them noisily across the tile so that she and Rachel can sit with me. Chloe looks like she's already prepared to nap all the way through class. Typical. Rachel, on the other hand, she's got top marks, even though she's more into being in photos, not taking them. She's already got her textbook open, and she's running a paint-stained finger down the page. Victoria walks in just a moment later with Taylor at her side. She glances at me and then immediately looks away when she catches me looking back. Her lips are pressed together in a hard line as Taylor chatters in her ear. I guess she's not in a gossipy mood today. Kate's seat is over by the window. She mouths hello to me as she takes her spot, organizing her books into a neat pile. Good morning, class. What a lovely Monday morning. There's a few grumbles here and there. Chloe's is the loudest. Max Dog ignores them all. As you all know, I told you last week I'd have a big surprise coming today. Well, the day has come for me to announce the second annual Blackwell photo contest. I can feel butterflies literally explode in my stomach. Oof. Next to me, Chloe and Rachel shoot me looks. Called it. Victoria stiffens in her seat and sits up a little straighter. Kate smiles, of course. She's as bright as the spot of sun she's sitting in. Wait, why is it not working? Oh, this way. Now, this contest will be a little different from last year's. You'll have to pick a partner because the contest motif is the bond between people. This doesn't mean you both have to be in the photo, although that's not against the rules. The photo can be of anything. Your bond will be expressed by working together. I want to see all kinds of photos represented. I encourage all of you to enter. At the end of the week, each pair will submit their photo. Of course, I'll be the judging to pick the winner. As for the prize, the winner will have their photo displayed in the front entrance of the May building and a feature in the Blackwell totem. Will you only have until Friday? Shoot, if I wind up entering, I'm going to have to start thinking about it right away. Who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to enter. Max Dog turns to survey the class, hands on their hips. One thing you should keep in mind, be certain of who you choose for a partner because you can't change what you pick. You will both need to work together to create your photo. No cooperation, no entry. I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous about this whole thing. Sure, I've taken photos for as long as I can remember, but I've never collaborated with someone else like this before. If you plan to enter, I need you to pick your partners before the end of today's class so that I can add your names to the registration sheet. Double crap. I have no idea who to ask, and almost no time to make up my mind. Fidgeting nervously, I glance around the classroom. I can already see people murmuring to one another about their plans. Chloe, who's half asleep, raises her eyebrows at me when I meet her gaze. I guess she wasn't so zoned out that she wasn't listening. Rachel winks when I look at her, and I think about how much practice she had posing for photos. Everyone knows that she wants to be a model. And you go do that, Rachel. You're beautiful. Kate waves her fingers at me, smiling encouragingly. She doesn't have to say anything for me to know that she thinks I should enter. Victoria, she stiffens a little, but she doesn't look away immediately this time. She holds my gaze. I'm not sure if she's issuing a challenge. The choice is mine. I could ask anyone. Nothing's stopping me but my own shyness. The worst that could happen is that I'll be turned down, which honestly seems completely mortifying if I'm going to be real here, but I'll be even more disappointed with myself if I don't enter at all. Who should I ask? This is no question at all. No question. I got nothing against you ladies. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. You're kind of my favorite. But my all-time favorite, forever and ever and ever, is Chloe. So, bye ladies. I'm picking Chloe. Are you sure you want to choose Chloe? Yes, Chloe is my main girl. Chloe is life. Yes. Achievement unlocked. Partners in crime. Yay, I found one. There is nothing like the tried and true. I know Chloe would be willing to help me. It's practically cheating to ask her. But if the theme is bonds between people, then what better choice than my partner in crime? I lean over the desk towards her. Hey, old faithful. Chloe snorts. That makes me sound like something that should be taken out behind a barn and shot. Chloe! It's a geyser, not a dog. Whatevs. Chloe mouths twitches. She reaches up under her beanie, knocking it askew as she combs her fingers through her hair. Yeah. Will you pretty please help me win the contest, dearest Chloe? Her voice is pitched up. She sounds like a mouse. I do not sound like that. Yes. No, I don't. I mean, yes, I'll help you win the contest. And you do so sound like that. A little. Wait, really? Your voice gets a little... I give her a shove, laughing. I love you two so much. No, the contest. You want to enter? Duh! I finally get to ride the victory train with you. My heart swells. I was sure that Chloe would help, but hearing her say it feels really good. We've always stuck together on everything. At least we did before I had to leave. We were at one another's sides for so many years. Almost all of my best memories have Chloe in them. Sometimes I wish we could go back to those days. Yeah, like your rewind powers. Also, I love that you have the dough, which is from the actual Life is Strange game. It's amazing. I just now noticed. But we're all still as symbiotic as we ever were, even if we're pretty different now. Different interests, different styles, but still friends. That's how I know that what we have is real. Well, that's if I win. It's not even up for debate. You'll blow it out of the water. We're interrupted by Mac's dog trailing back to the front of the classroom and clearing the throat. All right, I've got to get into today's lecture. If you haven't picked a partner yet, then be sure to do before class lets out. I settle back into my seat as the lesson begins, but I can barely focus. All I can think about is the contest. When the class lets out, it feels like hours later, and I leap out of my seat. Chloe takes her time getting up, reaching to scratch herself under her arm. Ugh, I think my buzz is already wearing off. It's school's fault. Nothing's ever your fault. Not at all. I grin. That's my Chloe. And my Chloe. So, this contest thing, you're going to help me see another A+ for the first time in like 4 years, right? Chloe, it's a contest, not an assignment. Right, we split the $1 million. What $1 million? I'm not so sure we're going to win $1 million. We split the, half mil? Quarter? 10 grand? Chloe, stop. Chloe, winning is its own reward. Jesus, calm down there, Pollyanna. We can decide what to do with the prize after you win. I'm pretty sure there is no prize, and it would be us winning, not just me. As you say, I'm just here for the victory train, remember? More like the gravy train. Gravy. Chloe clutches her stomach dramatically. I don't even know what to say. Maybe we can go to the Two Whales tomorrow morning. Genius, Max. If I can hold off on my cravings for that long. Can you believe Joy still won't do takeout? Actually, yes, I completely believe that. Well, I'm gonna go blaze my way through math class, literally, behind the bleachers, because I'm not going to math class. Chloe, I love you so much. Classic. My voice is dry, which Chloe picks up on, but it doesn't seem to bother her. I'll text you later. I'll be waiting for it. Chloe cuffs me on the shoulder, and then she grabs her bag and goes to sneak off to her smoke spot, while I go to Max Dock's desk and give them our names for the registration sheet. I'm glad I asked my best friend to be my partner for the contest. Chloe is no photographer, but if it's about bonds, then we've got this on lock. I hope. The breakfast rush at the Two Whales Diner always takes me by surprise, even though I've been coming here since I was a kid. The atmosphere is always electric, the frantic energy of the bustling staff. The impatient, hungry truckers perched at the lunch counter like hulking, curlish birds on a wire. The sleepy locals slumped in their booths over steaming mugs of coffee. I've been here nursing my own coffee for 10 minutes now. This morning, I woke up to a text Chloe sent at 2 a.m. asking me to meet her at the diner at 8 sharp for breakfast. She's late, of course. I should probably be more annoyed than this, but I'm kind of used to it. Chloe tries, but she's never been able to keep a schedule. It's kind of a miracle she managed to make it to her class on time, most days. I suppose this means I should be more worried about asking Chloe, of all people, to help me with my entry for the photo contest. No, because Chloe is my best friend and my best girl and best everything. Chloe for life. But Chloe's never let me down when I've needed her. Not ever. And she's not starting today. I can't stop the smile that spreads on my face when Chloe enters the diner. She scans the room, panting a little, looking disheveled. When her eyes light on mine, her face breaks out into a grin of its own, and she makes a beeline toward our booth. Hey, sorry I'm late. She slides into the booth with effortless cool, shooting me her most charming, apologetic smile. You mad? Of course not. No. You're my best friend. I laugh, shaking my head and taking a sip of my coffee. Oh, it's Tuesday. I forgot. I gotta check. Yeah. So this is the new page that got updated. Alright, let's get back to it. I laugh, shaking my head, taking a sip of my coffee. Oh, what? I hit the wrong button. This is actually pretty punctual for you. I'm impressed. Chloe laughs too, looking visibly relieved. She slumps back into the booth, beaming playfully and knocking her foot against mine beneath the table. I know, not bad, right? Chloe grins at me like we're kids again, like we're sharing a secret. Even though I've been back in Arcadia Bay for a year now, there's something about being on the receiving end of her smiles again that still kind of takes my breath away, 'cause Chloe is amazing. I can't help staring at her with what must be the dopiest look on my face, but I can't help it. Deliberately, I drag my eyes away from her face, and scan the diner, licking my lips. You hungry? Oh, she's still wearing it! The bracelet's over here. Awesome! God, yes. Chloe cranes her neck dramatically, looking around the diner. Where's Joyce anyway? I'm gonna die of starvation before she even takes my order. Then she'll be childless, and you'll be partnerless, and my sad, hungry ghost will be forever bound to the two whales. Curse the hot, greasy truckers and painfully slow waitstaff for eternity. Not so fast, Casper. Chloe snorts. I kick her lightly beneath the table and continue despite the interruption. Joyce should be out with your food in a minute. It's like flipping a switch. Chloe's face lights up. The previous conversation immediately stricken from her memory. She leans forward, seizing my hands in hers and dragging them across the table. Max, you've been my best friend since we were kids. My first mate, my partner in crime, and now the girl who buys me breakfast. I'm ready to take the next step. Aw, Chloe, you shouldn't have. Max, will you do me the great honor of marrying me and buying me food for the rest of our lives? Chloe, you're so beautiful. She's been doing this more and more lately, saying things that could just be joking, but could also be, well, flirting. I just can't figure out if Chloe's being deliberately confusing or if I'm such a colossal social dunce that I can't tell the difference. Chloe waggles her eyebrows, squeezing my hands playfully. Max? I laugh awkwardly, feeling a blush rise on my face and yank my hands out of her grip. No! Max, you need to say yes! Who said I'm buying? Chloe pouts, bottom lip jutting out dramatically. You know, I did just offer to spend the rest of my life with you, which you didn't even answer. The least you could do is offer to pay for my... Wait, what did you get me? Let's see. She wouldn't like oatmeal. What is her favorite food? You know what? Let's just go with eggs and bacon. It's gotta be eggs and bacon. If I'm wrong, I'll just come back. Your favorite? Bacon, side of eggs. Chloe slams her palms down on the table excitedly. Hot dang! Now we're talking! Joyce bustles out of the kitchen a few minutes later, expertly balancing trays loaded with breakfast foods. Chloe smirks mischievously, leaning forward in the booth, no doubt with something cheerfully antagonistic on the tip of her tongue. But the morning rush is so hectic that Joyce barely has the time to set her plates down in front of us before tearing across the restaurant to attend the family of 5 that just filled up the last free booth. Chloe looks briefly disappointed that she lost the opportunity to annoy her mother, at least until she remembers there's food in front of her. Chloe eats with the sort of single-minded ferocity not uncommon in wild dogs. I could totally see a blue-haired Chloe dog. She'd be like a wolf or something. That would be amazing. And then Max would be like a fox or something. She's got about the same level of manners, too, I remember. Thinking of all the time she's stolen food right off my plate and unconsciously hunching over my meal when she looks up and starts eyeing my waffles. You gotta finish that? No, you can have it. I roll my eyes, taking one last bite and pushing my plate across the table to her. Chloe perks up, eagerly accepting the extra food. Thanks, Max. So I bet you're pretty pumped to get started on our project, huh? I bite my lip, shifting my gaze from Chloe's eager face to the window facing the street. I watch a few cars pass by, trying to gather my thoughts. I guess I'm excited, but... I glance back to Chloe, unable to stop the smile that tugs at the corner of my mouth. She always knows when there's something I'm not saying. But I'm pretty nervous too. I still can't believe I actually volunteered for the contest. I can. Chloe says it like it's just a fact. I feel butterflies. No, that's not what I meant. Go back. I feel butterflies flutter in my stomach nervous for a whole other reason now. Confidence has always seemed to come as easy as breathing to Chloe, and I get it. She's tough and beautiful and smarter than she gives herself credit for. That all makes sense. But it's her unwavering confidence in me that I just can't wrap my head around sometimes. Max, you're like the best photographer in school. I know sometimes you get all in your head about this crap, but it's really not so complicated. Of course you're gonna kill it here. I smiled gently back, hearing the hesitance at the end of her sentence. But Chloe smiles bashfully, cheeks flushing just slightly, looking up at me through a fringe of blue hair like a kid with her hand in the cookie jar. But it was kind of surprising you asked me to help you with your project. What? Chloe shifts in her seat. The food is gone now. She has nothing to distract her from the conversation, so she grabs a packet of sugar from the center of the table, tearing it open and pouring the contents out into shapes on the tabletop. Joyce is going to be so mad. I mean, there are lots of, good photographers in that class, Max. I basically only took photography so I could hang with you and Rachel at school a few times a week. Chloe, you're my best friend. There's no one else I'd rather have in my corner for stuff like this. Chloe looks up from the pile of sugar she was carefully shaping into swirls in the center of the table. Best friend? Her tone is light, but the look on her face makes me feel like I didn't say quite the right thing. Yeah, don't you think more than best friend? My first mate. My partner in crime. The girl I buy breakfast for. Chloe's face breaks out into a wide grin, cheeks pink. In that case, can I order another? No. I love how she's so serious. No. Chloe laughs. Worth a shot. Oh, you guys are so precious. So I guess we better get started on this thing. The rules say you need to take your photo somewhere in Arcadia Bay. Do you know where you want to go? Maybe. Oh, I know. We should go to the junkyard. Should I let her decide, though? I should have saved before. Dang, you decide. Actually, why don't you tell me where you want to go? Chloe had pulled the beanie off her head and tugged it down over my eyes as soon as we got into the truck. I had wanted to pull it off, but she levied the vague threat of swift retribution against me. Remembering all the retaliatory pranks she had unleashed on those who had dared to oppose her in our childhood, I decided to play along. Even with my eyes covered, I had felt the excitement radiating off of her for the entire drive. I can't deny I'm eager to see what Chloe has in store when the truck finally rolls to a stop. Sit tight. I hear the car door open and close. Then a moment later, I feel the door on my side open. She leans across my body, unbuckling my seatbelt for me and wrapping a hand around my elbow to guide me out of the cabin. I stumble anyway, my clumsiness trumping Chloe's best efforts to help me. She catches my weight against her body, steadying me with one hand on my hip, the other still gripping my arm. Whoa there. Sorry. I can feel myself blushing, for once grateful that the beanie obscures so much of my face. You okay? Her voice is so quiet, close and quiet. The gentle pressure of her fingers against my hip makes my heart beat faster and I nod dumbly. You ready? I can hear the excitement in her voice. A fluttering feeling blooms in the pit of my stomach. I'm excited too. Yeah. It's the junkyard! Yeah, I knew it! Chloe yanks the beanie off my head and I squint against the sudden explosion of light. Oh. I look around, taking in the heaps of rusted metal, the scraggly weeds, the towering evergreens looming in the background. It's amazing! Amazing. Wow, Chloe. It's dorky, but I'm actually kind of awestruck by the atmosphere of the place. There are so many things around. Old vehicles, decommissioned signs, busted appliances, everything with its own story, each piece a unique offering. This place is perfect. Chloe beams at me, shoving her hands in her back pockets and rocking back on her heels. You think so? Yeah, God, I could get so many cool shots here. I'm so glad you can see it, you know? The potential here. Chloe trails off, looking thoughtful. After a beat of silence, she turns around, fixing me with a mischievous smirk. Let me show you around. Chloe takes off with a little skip, grabbing the sleeve of my sweater and pulling me behind her. She leads me on a whirlwind tour of the yard, around the yard. We weave between stacks of rusted-out car bodies, pick our way carefully through jagged metal and broken glass, around a field of dented metal, drums, and old tires and rebar. It doesn't take long for me to start to understand just what Chloe loves about this place. There's a sort of serenity here, among all the wrecks and the refuse. It's kind of beautiful. Chloe drags me over to an old trawler and offers to boost me up over the side. I decline. That thing looks like tetanus waiting to happen. But Chloe just shrugs and hauls herself up over the side with a cheerful disregard for her own personal safety. She struts around the top of the boat, posing and flexing, mugging for the camera like the charismatic jerk she is when I fall back to snap a few photos. Oh no, it's the dread pirate Bluebeard here to plunder Arcadia Bay. Arr! Oh, so cute! Chloe's pirate impression is as hilariously bad as ever, and I can't help but laugh. Chloe rolls her eyes, offended, and casually flips me off. Shut up, landlubber! Don't think I won't make you walk the plank! She walks to the tip of the bow and kicks over a chair, propping a leg up on the upturned seat. That Bluebeard... Stuff that Bluebeard crap. Call me Captain Morgan. I snap another photo, grinning. Captain Morgay. She laughs and hops down without warning, tossing me one of the metal curtain rods she had been waving around atop the trawler. What's this? Your sword, on guard. She takes a slow swing at me, and I react on instinct, deflecting the blow with my curtain rod and leading us into a full-blown sword fight. Yes! Battle! She swings again, and I react on instinct, deflecting the blow with my curtain rod. And it's bizarre because we've done this dozens of times. We're grown-ups now, but somehow playing pirates with my best friend is still easier than breathing. For as much as she's changed, for all the hair dye and the tattoos and the stuff smoked, and the occasional bad attitude, there are things about Chloe that are just fundamental. Like, she can still make the dumbest, goofiest crap still seem fun and exciting. Her laugh still makes my heart skip. Her smile still warms me up from the inside. And she still gets way too cocky in a sword fight, leaving herself wide open. I feint to the right, almost feeling bad when she lunges predictably away, defense slipping. Almost. Chloe's eyes widen as my next swing comes down. She knows she's going to get sent straight to Davy Jones' locker. Frantically, she tries to dodge, but ends up tripping over a stack of tires and landing right on her butt. Dang it! She sinks back into the pile of rubber and defeat, breathing heavily. I grin, feeling a trickle of sweat roll down my temple. Hey, Chloe, maybe we should stop. You're looking pretty. Max, don't say it. Tired? Get it? Because she fell on the tires. Chloe groans and rolls onto her side. Slowly, she pushes herself up to a standing position, patting down her pockets. I'm not high enough to deal with this right now. Come with me. She leads me around a cinder block shed along some train tracks and back into the junkyard to a clearing behind the school bus. Chloe hops onto the hood of an old car, patting the spot next to her and sparking it up. The metal is warm from the sun as I take my seat beside her. We're sitting so close, I can feel her pinky brush against mine on the hood of the car. Tentatively, I reach over and hook my fingers over hers, watching the slow smile that spills across her face in response. I'm really glad you wanted me to help you, Max. I already told you, there's no one else I'd rather have helping me with this. Chloe speaks through a puff of smoke, looking out towards the trees. I know, not just because of that, though. I knew you'd be busy with this project for the rest of the week, and I really wanted to spend time with you. Oh, I wanted to spend time with you too, Chloe! Max, I'm leaving. What? I feel like all the air has been sucked out of my lungs. What? Chloe winces and takes a hit to buy herself some time. I need to get out of here. I'm so sick of this town. I'm taking off at the end of the week. I just need to go someplace else for a while. You're leaving? Only for a couple of days. Or weeks. Look, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm coming back, alright? You can't do that! Chloe, what the heck? You can't just leave. Chloe slides down the hood of the car, dragging the smoldery tip of it along the metal to stub it out. She spins on the balls of her feet as soon as she hits the ground, leveling a glare at me. Yeah, Max, I can. Take me with you, that's what I'm trying to say. I am. She pops her eyebrow like a challenge, mouth twisted into a scowl. My heart catches, and I'm so mad for a second. Chloe and I don't fight often, but for good reason. She's the only person who's ever been able to get under my skin quite like this. I open my mouth, ready to argue again, and then I notice it. Chloe's hands tremble, just barely, when she goes to tuck the unfinished thing, into her pocket. I pause, flicking my eyes back up to her face. She's still staring me down, ready to raise heck, but anger was always easier for Chloe than fear. I think about her nervous admission in the diner, the hesitancy in her voice when she told me she was leaving, and I know that my reaction now could break her. Okay, wait. Chloe's face goes slack with surprise before her defenses come back up. She shifts nervously in place. The look she's giving me now is still wary, but less certain. What? I take a deep breath and pat the empty space next to me. Kick back over here. Come on. She hesitates, gnawing her bottom lip nervously. Chloe, please. Reluctantly, she takes a seat beside me again, propping her knees up on the front bumper and draping her arms across them. I don't want to fight with you, Chloe. Me either. I hit the wrong choice. So if you're really leaving, let's not spend our time together that way, okay? Okay. I've never been out of Arcadia Bay, Max. And sometimes it feels like I'll never be able to. And that's terrifying. I don't expect you to really understand. But I need you to trust that this is what I need right now, okay? It's rare to see Chloe so earnest. I smile despite the lump in my throat, the tightness in my chest. Okay. Chloe slumps forward a little, relieved, and I finally get how tense she was before. This must have been eating her up. I reach out and take her hands again, and she perks up a little, shooting me a small but earnest smile. Guess we better get to school, huh? I smile back, squeezing her hand as she slides off the hood of the car and pulls me to my feet. Guess so. Her hand in mine is warm. I hold it for as long as I can. Wednesday. My head feels heavy when I wake up the next morning, and I swipe 4 times on my phone's alarm instead of the usual 2. It takes me a blurry couple of seconds of rubbing my eyes and stretching to remember why my mind feels so weighed down. Oh, Chloe. I promised myself last night I wouldn't be too upset about Chloe jet-setting off, at least on the outside. I missed one. Hang on. So this must be the next one. And then this one. Okay. I meant what I said yesterday. I do understand, on the logical level, why she wants to, and I really sincerely want her to be happy. And it would make me the biggest hypocrite in Oregon to call her out on leaving me behind in Arcadia Bay as she goes off to explore the world. I know that, but I've loved having her back in my life. It's taught me that some people really are irreplaceable. Chloe most of all. I'm not crazy about the idea of losing her again. Yeesh. Right after I told myself I wouldn't be mopey too. Time to get it together. So I roll out of bed, start pulling my clothes and things together. What's really important now is to focus on Chloe. Make the most of our time together. I need to get morning muzziness out of my head first, but I really like to do something special for her. Make sure her party memories of Arcadia Bay are good ones. Give her a compelling reason to come back. Or, you could just go with her. Okay, Max, you're going to miss Chloe. How about dwell on that after she's actually left? Oh, and we're going to need to take a photo. And a good photo. An award-winning photo. Sometimes I feel like time is actively working against me. Well, I bet you wish you could control it, couldn't you? Time to go splash some water on my face. Max sadness hour is over. It's about time this day got rolling. But of course, when the door swings open and the smell of it hits me like a truck, my heart just goes speedy again. Hey, bedhead. Morning, burnout. She grins at me, lowering it, and leaning back against the sink. She looks loose-limbed and carefree this early in the morning, arms bare and her hair muzzed. She looks like she's waiting around to raise some heck with Rachel again this morning. I know I must look like a mess, but at least it's nothing she hasn't seen before. I cross by her to the sink to her left, leaning over and splashing some water up into my face, exhaling against my fingers. Chloe's looking at me. I can feel it. You doing okay, Max? I straighten up and glance at her before patting off my face. Yeah, I'm fine. You know I'm not a morning person. Who is? She's still looking at me, a little searchingly. It glows ember red between her fingers. You sure though? Your eyes are kinda... She makes a vague gesture with her hands, indicating my entire face, which isn't exactly helpful. All smudgy-like, too small. Thanks. Thinking about you. Just thinking about you, I guess. At that, her grin spreads wide. And she leans towards me, bracing both hands on either side of the sink. Oh, really? For a second, I just blink at her, and she raises an eyebrow. Then I get it. Oh, you wish. I shove at her shoulder, and she sways back, laughing. I giggle too, and wish I hadn't already doused myself. It'd be suspicious to do it twice. And the contest too, but somehow you manage to distract me even when you're not there. Chloe grins and rubs it out against the sink. I'm counting on that. Anyway, Rachel will be here in a few minutes. Apparently today is going to be the big goodbye day. The word goodbye just drops another rock in the pit of my stomach, but I just nod. Is that your way of subtly telling me to get out of your Kool-Aid stained hair? First of all, how dare you suggest this color comes from anything but the finest bottle of Manic Panic Bad Boy Blue Amplified Hair Dye? Secondly, absolutely not, hippie. I was planning on running into you. She meets my eyes again, and I straighten a little, reach up to pinch a water droplet out of my bangs. Yeah? Why? For one thing, you look cute first thing in the morning. Your hair's all floofy. Oh, so cute! Oh, that's so cute. That's a cute thing to say, Chloe. As I'm brushing down my admittedly floofy hair with my fingers, she continues. Also, Rachel has me booked all day, but I wanted to know what your plans were. My plans? Yeah, hopefully I'll be free later on today, so if you wanted to do something like, for the contest or... She shrugs suddenly unsure and flicks it into the stall across from her. It misses the drain by about 2 feet. But just the fact that Chloe's still thinking about the contest first, How about me, even the face of this huge shift in her life? I definitely want to hang out. But maybe today, can we just be a Max and Chloe day? She looks at me again, surprised. Then she grins. Dude, every day is a Max and Chloe day, like frickin' Thelma and Louise. Have you got something in mind? Not yet, but I will by the time this afternoon rolls around. It's a surprise. Chloe's eyes go even brighter. Sweet! Give me something to look forward to as I suffer through all the skater bros' tears. You're gonna break their hearts. She just nods cheerfully. They'll get used to it. Her phone beeps and we both look down. Chloe checks the message, then shoves it back into her pocket. Rachel. She's waiting outside apparently. She lives off this crap, you know? I think men's tears might make her younger or something. That does sound like Rachel. Mystical, powerful, and daunting. Go easy, alright? I feel kind of bad for them. No promise. She reaches out and ruffles my hair with one hand. I'll catch you later, dork. And I'll text you when I can meet up. Okay, tell Rachel I'm expecting her to be the responsible one. She already knows, but will do. She winks at me, then slips out of the bathroom door. So that gives me the half hour before class starts to think of something special for Chloe. Good. Max, great forward thinking. Playing a balancing act of thinking about Chloe and getting ready for class is even harder than I thought it would be. While I'm bummed that she'll be cutting class, I won't be able to see her. It's not as though it's the first time she's ever done it. Also, I'm kind of glad to be lined up as the person she comes back to at the end of the day. She keeps me feeling significant. Even though I know it's probably poor planning to let the contest take a day off when we only have 3 contest days on, I think it's a good idea to have some time for Chloe and I just to focus on each other. Plus, if she's going to be busy for most of the day, that gives me a bit to plan for the photo in the meantime. And for what I want to do for Chloe today, I think I'd like to have something to give her. Some kind of memorabilia to remind her of Arcadia Bay. Or of me. For a moment, that makes me smile. The idea of White Knight Chloe receiving a token from her lady fair before setting off on her grand Arthurian journey, then I catch myself. Geez, schoolgirl crush much, Max? I shake my head, push that more than semi-worrying thought out of mind for now and focus on thinking of a gift Chloe might like. After spending a couple of seconds looking around my room, I come up with what I think are 3 Chloe options. Pirate photo! Oh, it's so good! Snow globe. Mixtape. Oh, definitely the mixtape. Mixtape. Yes. Chloe does love to rock out, and she's going to be spending a lot of time in that car. I know her music taste well enough by now to pull together a playlist I think she'd like. Something to keep her awake and eager on the road. Maybe I can also slip in some songs I've been trying to get her to listen to. Even if she's not crazy about them, it'll at least be a way to have her thinking of me. But hopefully in a, oh man, Max my musically talented best friend who I miss so much way. Not in a, geez, what kind of loser puts 3 acoustic tracks right next to each other way? I could probably make one after class. Maybe doodle a cover to go along with it. Sounds like a plan. What's really important is making this day about Chloe. I want her to feel like I'm supporting her decision, not holding her back. It's hard walking the balancing act. Balance of knowing I'm ready. I'm really, really going to miss her and being happy for her, knowing she's doing what she wants to do. Chloe deserves the world and more, but I just hope her happy ending isn't one where we're apart. Me either. I want you 2 together forever. Mine definitely isn't. Her getting ready to leave is starting to make me really realize that. I'm starting to think I should have put that into words before this week. Just as I'm running the risk of riding the train back all the way to Mopesfield out, my phone beeps. Luckily, too, because apparently I only have 2 minutes to get to class. I hurriedly shrug my bag over my shoulder, scrolling through my text with my other hand. Looks like I'll be free around 4. Oh, this is so cool! That work for you? My schedule is totally clear. I'm at your beck and call. Intriguing. You gonna give me a hint about the surprise thing or what? Well, I think you'll like it. Dude, of course I'm gonna like it. More specific. Nope, I wanna watch you shiver with anticipation. You're lucky I love you because you're a pain in the butt. Just finish the dang. Whatever. Okay, I'll see you at 4. Also, Max, thanks for doing this. I know you're busy with the contest and school and stuff, and it's great to be able to hang out with you still. I'm glad we can. Patient. Oh yeah, of course. Nothing but the best for my BFF. Yeah, see you later. Don't be late for the date. I'm gonna start charging you for those, I swear. I ended up skidding into Max Doll's class 3 minutes late, but even the darkest of Victoria's glares can't wipe the stupid grin off my face. It's 10 minutes to 4, and I'm actually starting to hope I can relay Chloe's chronic lateness. I ended up getting to the boardwalk later than I expected, scrambling to get my work done for class tomorrow and getting caught up in brainstorming for the contest. In the end, I just decided to text Chloe asking if she wouldn't mind meeting up here. She's the one with the truck after all. And it's faster than Blackwell's bus, even if its upkeep is similarly doubtful. I dare you to say that to my truck's face. But okay, we'll meet you at Boardwalk. It's so atmospheric here too, it's hard to stay focused. All the bright colors of storefronts and the soft sound of the sea in the distance make me want to soak up the atmosphere. This is one of the only places in Arcadia Bay that continually feels lively. I've always been more inclined to the quieter parts of town, especially for photography. But there's still something so magical about places like this, on the border between civilization and nature. I wonder if Chloe's searching for more places like this, bustling, shining with color and sound. She's definitely someone who's drawn to places and people that present life with vigor. Is she even looking for something, or is she just desperate to leave this place specifically? Well, it's not like I'm going to figure that out just by standing here thinking about it. The only person who can answer that is Chloe. Also, sorry for the long playthrough. If it keeps on going like this, I think I will break it up into 2 parts. Right now, I needed the time to make sure that her gift is perfect. Luckily, I was able to piece together a good playlist for Chloe before I left the dorm. Good in my opinion, anyway. All I needed was to pick up from the shops was a protective cover. I think I've managed to strike a fine balance between I rock hard and feel nothing but rage against the machine, and punks have feelings too. I was also able to get some passable doodles drawn on the disc before I caught the bus. I'm no Picasso, but I think Chloe will be able to make us some butterflies and a skull and crossbones, our faces. I hope she'll like it. Just as I held it up a little to inspect it against the sunlight, I hear a shout from behind me. Max! I turned quickly, hiding both hands behind my back, to see Chloe a few yards away, climbing out of her truck and beaming. Hey! I waved with one hand and tried my best to be subtle, slipping her gift back into my bag as she starts ambling over in my direction. I barely have time to look back up again before Chloe's right in front of me, wrapping her arms around my waist and lifting me nearly an inch off the ground. Ack! God, are you a sight for sore eyes? Put me down! She does. Her hands still settle on my hips as she leans back to look at me, grinning at my half-hearted scowl. Don't pretend you're not happy to see me. I am happy to see you, Chloe. Of course I'm happy to see you safe. Even Max is happy. That only makes her look more smug. So, what was the damage? Chloe shrugs. Well, I think 6 years were added to Rachel's life. She told me to say hi, by the way. I'll have to say hi back later. She's counting on it. Chloe lets go of me and starts moving towards the edge of the wooden slats beneath us. She gestures for me to follow her, and I hurried to match pace with her again. So why meet up here? Not that I don't appreciate the romantic atmosphere. Only the best. Well, you know, only the best for you. She grins, satisfied. Is this your best, then? She tilts her head back, looking at me from beneath her eyelids, almost like a dare, smiling with her incisors. I know that look, and it's supposed to make me catch off guard and say something stupid, probably so she can laugh at me. But I've been getting better at playing this game. I raise my chin, put one hand on my hip even as I feel my heart flutter. Disappointed. That gets her to grin even wider, and all the challenge goes out of her face, laughing and tipping her head back. Never. Anyway, I actually needed to come here to pick up a few things. Chloe's eyes light up. She turns to face me, back and elbows balancing against the fence that separates sidewalk and sand. Like what? Like new film and she looks so eager, as usual. She's seen right through me. Still, it could be fun to tease her a little longer. And more colored pencils and she's still grinning, but now she's starting to look a little unsure. I decided to cut her some slack. And something for you. She brightens, springing up straight again. I can't help but grin back. My hand's coming up to wrap around my bag strap. Score! I knew it! Subtle as a sledgehammer, Max. When she comes up to me all the way in my space and eyes roving around me curiously, it's hard to stand my ground. I have to tilt my head back a little to look into her eyes. So where is it? You sure you want it now? Yes, give. One of her hands snakes underneath my arm towards my bag. I shiver involuntarily as it brushes against my waist, then smack it away, shoving the bag further behind my back. Grabby. Guilty as charged. Come on, Max, show me the money. I roll my eyes, but she just beams insistently at me. I reach back into my bag and withdraw it carefully. Okay, but it's your fault there's no element of surprise. Chloe takes the disc cover from me and flips it over curiously. For a second, her eyes just skitter around the doodles, then she lights up. Dude! I shift from foot to foot, suddenly shy at her delight. I know the drawings are crappy, but the music, it's mostly stuff you like, I promise, and... Wait, I know the drawings are crappy, but the music is mostly stuff you like, I promise, and... This is great! I didn't even think about music. Now it's going to be a real road trip. What's the point of even going anywhere if you can't jam out on the way? See, I knew I would pick the best thing for you, Chloe! I know being able to thrash would still be high on Chloe's priority list. I smile. Well, it's not all riot, girl. Wild child. I put some of my tracks on there, too. There's no way out of the hipster earscape. You did? When I meet her gaze again, I fully expect her to be teasing, locked and loaded with an arsenal of jibes against my musical taste. But actually, her eyes are super warm. It catches me off guard. That's awesome. Thanks, Max. Just to make sure you're thinking of us little people from time to time. She bristles a little at that, tugging her jacket firmer over her shoulders. For a moment, I lose eye contact with her. Are you seriously worried about that? As if I could ever forget. As if that isn't the biggest thing to worry about when you find out your best friend is leaving for an indeterminate amount of time. Especially when yours truly is guilty of exactly that. Still, I try to keep my tone light, coming to a stand beside her, lean back on the fence some. Well, you never know. I've heard there's a lot of the world out there, Chloe. It's easy to get distracted. Distracted from what? I look at her, confused, and the look on her face startles me. It looks like she's really deep in thought, like she's trying to make a decision. Whatever the decision is, she seems to settle on it and looks back at me. Again, her eyes are really determined and kind of intense. My mouth goes dry. I feel myself stand up a little straighter. Listen, Max, I wanted... She hesitates just for a moment, and in the space of that 1 second, her phone beeps. Don't interrupt her! I want to know what she says! It's not a loud sound, but both of us jump. We glance at each other, and I giggle as she huffs and reaches for her pocket. My heart is beating way too fast. It's Joyce. She wants me home early. Blah, 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 blah. I can't do this fast. She wants to be home early tonight so we can make dinner together or something. I barely give it any socket to how Joyce might be taking this. Now there's a pang in my chest. You should go. But we'll have tomorrow and Friday to hang out and work on the project. Besides, it's your mom. Chloe chews on her lip for a moment. Then she looks up at me, suddenly bright-eyed again. Come back to my place. What? She grins at me, bottom lip caught between her teeth. Come on, it'll be great. And it'll make Joyce happy. You know, just like the old times. Cooking dinner together, blanket forts, pillow fights. It's a Wednesday. I have class tomorrow, and we definitely going to need to crack down and take the contest photo, too. This is really no time to be staging impromptu sleepovers. But Chloe's still beaming at me, insistent, and almost I don't know how to say that. Her eyebrows raised, one hand on her hip. If I say okay and regret it later, there's no one to blame but myself. Okay, but we can't stay up too late. It's like Chloe's whole body just illuminates. She straightens and claps her hands together like a kid, her grin stretching wide across her cheeks. Yes, and without much more ado, she grabs my hand and starts dragging me back towards her truck. This is gonna be hella awesome. That is the only freaking word I will say because that is my favorite phrase that Chloe always says. Max. This is gonna be hella awesome, Max. Joyce will definitely bring her cooking skills if you're here. I should definitely be feeling some regret or indecision about this poor choice of time management, just like how I should have felt self-control a few seconds ago. That Chloe's hand is really warm in mine. I'm so full I think I might never eat again. Chloe was right, and Joyce was excited to see me, probably because it meant another helping hand in the kitchen. The two of us ended up doing most of the work, which is likely the way Chloe planned it. Still, we made so much and ate so much that I don't think I'm going to be able to move again for another couple of hours. Chloe and I are on her bedroom floor now, sprawled underneath an admittedly very half-hearted blanket fort made up of all the pillows we could find and a blanket propped up by Chloe's bedpost and her lamp. This is definitely a fire hazard. Just like me. She's lying on her back, arms folded under her head, and I'm on my elbows leaning back. We've drawn our knees up to conserve space, but our legs are still bracketed around each other. I'm exhausted. It's only, 7-ish? That's not a bad thing, though. Maybe we'll get to bed at a reasonable hour after all. Chloe groans, shifting a little to spread her arms out wide. Reasonable hour? Oh, right, because of the contest. Have you started coming up with a game plan yet? I tilt my head back. Chloe doesn't pay a lot of attention in photography class, but I know she'll do her best with whatever I ask of her. The contest is a lot of pressure on its own, but having Chloe's goodwill resting blindly on me is heavy too. Sort of. The junkyard was such a cool idea, Chloe. There's so much opportunity for a lot of different kinds of shots. Even though she's flat on her back, I can still see her preen. I grin up at the blanket. The tricky part will be trying to find a way to center the shot, since there's going to be so much happening in the backdrop. But I'm not too worried about that. I mean, if you're the subject, I think. There's a loud creak of floorboard beneath us, and Chloe comes up onto her arms in a matter of seconds, eyed-wise and wincing as her wrist cracked. If I'm the subject? Her surprise startles me too, and I nearly lose my balance, upsetting the blanket slightly and hitting my elbows a little too hard against the floor. I thought Chloe already assumed she would be the subject, but in retrospect, I guess the both of us were too distracted to actually talk about it. I turned a little red, kind of careless, Max. Yeah, I thought, but I didn't ask, sorry, so if you don't want to, that's totally... No, I mean, I'll do it, She glances away, and it takes me a second to realize she looks a little shy all of a sudden. It's such an unfamiliar expression on her that it takes me a second to recognize it. If you wanted a model, you should have asked Rachel. You're eye-catching. You're plenty eye-catching yourself. The second it's out of my mouth, I feel a flush climbing up my cheek. Chloe props herself up high on her elbows, grinning at me. Are you hitting on me? Now I'm the one that has to look away. She just laughs, but I can feel her still watching me, waiting. The point is, I'm not that worried about centering the shot if you're the subject. When I glance back at her, she just nods, mock thoughtful, then grins at me again before lowering herself onto her back again, hands behind her head. Sure, okay. Well, if you're not worried, I'm not worried. Well, I think that covers that topic. Besides, photography is something that happens in the moment. It's not really something you can plan out in advance. It's kind of romantic that way. I look at Chloe again, but she's still looking up, away from me. I wish I knew what she was thinking about. Chloe and I could read each other so well, but there are still moments where I can't get in her head. The silence is broken a little by the sound of Joyce passing underneath the stairs, singing softly to herself. Chloe's fingers curl up. So, you already talked to Joyce about me going? Chloe glances down at me in surprise, then grimaces and looks back up at the ceiling. I knew it would be a comfortable subject, but I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, I mean, it didn't exactly go smooth. She cried, Max. It was frickin' brutal. I hummed sympathetically. Mom tears are the absolute worst. But in the end, she understood. She wants me to be happy. Kind of like what you said yesterday. She said she was the same when she was young, too. Her and, my dad. She said with the same gene pool I had, she shouldn't have expected anything less than a free spirit. Like a bird. I can't think of a better way to describe Chloe pride. Chloe. Blah. Joyce may have come down to roost, but the Price women were meant for flight. Chloe grins lazily up at me. Bird of prey. Then her grin falters, and she comes up on her elbows again. What about you? Me? Yeah, are you a bird, Max? Her voice is light, teasing, but there's a serious sort of look in her face I can't quite decipher. Unsure, I just chuckle, lean back, and close my own eyes. Sure. There's a sudden tug at my foot, and I almost come unseated. I prop myself back up on my forearms and look up at Chloe in surprise. Her fingers are still wrapped around my bare ankle, and there's a searching, almost severe look in her eyes. I'm serious. Seriously asking if I'm a bird? Max. I could be, I think. One of her eyebrows raised, and her thumb brushes past the knob on my ankle. I really try hard not to shiver this time, but she grins anyway. I feel kind of like she's testing me somehow. Well, I don't know if I am a bird, but I like to be one. Really free, getting to see so much of the world, going wherever it's warm, that's nice. And that's that bird eye view. When I glance up from her hand around my foot, she's staring at me. Her expression is curious, but she looks pleased, a smile tugging on the corners of her mouth, and I feel like I passed. I hope you asked Max to go with you, Chloe. That would be the best thing ever. Well, I think you could be the one. She lets go of me and comes to sit a little straighter, both of us curled forward towards each other. Thanks, Chloe. That means a lot coming from a professional peacock like you. I'd be a way cooler bird. Anyway, between you and my mom and Rachel, everyone who actually matters knows now. Well, that's good, right? No loose ends? She looks away from me again, lips curling a little. I hate putting it like that. Something's definitely up with her. I'm not sure if it's something I'm supposed to ask after or leave alone. But Chloe knows I'm nosy, so I think she suspects it when I push myself forward on my hands towards her. Are you feeling okay? She glances at me, surprised, then away again. I'm fine. Nervous? That gets her to look back again, and for a minute I think I've misstepped, but then she gives an airy, disbelieving chuckle. Kinda. I nod, trying for a sympathetic and knowing expression, but I must screw it up because she immediately shakes her head. It's not what you're thinking. I'm not nervous about driving or where I'm going to go or whatever. It's just her mouth keeps moving for a moment after her voice trails up, and it's unsettling. I don't think I've ever seen Chloe wordless before. Her lack of a brain-to-mouth filter is worrying sometimes, but at least it's consistent. This time I have to lean to the left to catch her eyes again, and she meets them a little wary. Then tell me what I should think. Chloe, I'm not mad at you. You know that, right? I just want to know what's going on with you. I want to get it, like you said yesterday. It's not like you owe me explanations or anything, but you know you can still tell me anything, right? And I'll listen. I want to be there for you. It startles me when she leans forward, not breaking eye contact. For a second, our faces are very, very close. Then she crosses her arms across my knees and rests her chin there, looking up. You already are here. Her calves are pressing in around mine now. Arms heavy where they are draped over my kneecaps, and I swallow. She's grinning up at me, cat-like and intrigued. Come on, I was being serious. I curse myself for stuttering, but Chloe doesn't seem to notice. She just pushes herself off my knees again. I'm being serious too. Max, it's just cool that you're here. It's cool that we can still hang out, and that you're making this time for me and being a goof. Being a goof! But she just laughs, stretching her arms over her head and then flipping up the edge of the blanket beside her. Chill. Anyway, I'm in a movie mood. It'll help us digest. You got any suggestions? Obviously, Final Fantasy Spirits Within, because that was mentioned in the game. Ha! Product placement. Well, there's nothing like the classic. Chloe groans so loudly I think it hurts her. Dude, if you make me watch that frickin' anime movie one more time... You've only watched it once, and you fell asleep halfway through. Better than it deserved. You need to let it grow on you. I'll let fungus grow on me before that movie does, but whatever, let's go. She holds the blanket up for me as I wiggle out from underneath it, wrapping it under her arm as we head out of the room. Thursday. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm gonna record the rest of it in the next part. Definitely breaking this episode into 2 parts, and then hopefully in the next part it'll be finished. So maybe like 3 parts? I don't know. This was Daemon playing Love is Strange, and I'll see you in the next one.